My name is Nathan. I was born in Canada in Toronto, but I grew up in Jamaica. I came up here about 5 years ago, and it's been a good experience for the most part. There have been a few problems, namely, there's been some racism that I've experienced here in Victoria. Before I get into how that affected me though, just a little bit of a backstory about how I got into photography. I was backpacking through Europe a couple of years ago, and I found that I really loved composing shots. So I loved finding the right time, setting up the shots, and just making sure everything looked the way that I wanted it to look. I wanted to take the pictures that I wanted to see. So that's how I got introduced into photography, and then after that, my mom loaned me a camera, which is how I actually really got started into really taking photos. So with that being said, about a year ago, it was the end of December, I was walking downtown here in Victoria. I just left a night out with some friends, so I was dressed up, I was feeling pretty good about myself. And on my walk home, there was a couple that stepped out from a side road in front of me, and they were uncomfortable with my presence. So I was only behind them for about 2 blocks, but the only reason it was only for 2 blocks was because they ended up jaywalking across 2 streets to get away from me. So I got home and I was mad, I was frustrated. I had gone out, so I felt like I was presenting well, but I was obviously appearing as a threat to these people, or they felt that I was a threat to them. So I took some self-portraits to show myself that I'm not someone to be afraid of, I'm not a scary person. And just as I was about to hit upload, I thought, I can't be the only person that this has happened to. So I started asking other people of color in Victoria, have you had any experiences of racism or racial profiling here or in Vancouver, Up Island, anywhere around this area? And the answer from people of color has almost unanimously been yes. So that's how I got started with the project Profiling Black Excellence, and it's since grown to a level that I didn't expect it to. There are, as of right now, 16 people, including myself, profiled in the project, and I've got more people that I'm going to be including later. So it started off as an Instagram account and a website, and it's grown to what it is today, which is an actual art exhibit. It lends a different depth to the project to have a physical space that people can come in and see these photos and read these stories and just know that these are real experiences, because for a lot of people of color, sharing stories of racism or racial profiling, they're very often met with silencing. So folks saying, are you sure that that was related to race, or maybe it was a one-off instance, but it's real. And so that's why I did this. It's for us, the people of color, to say we're here and these experiences are happening. And yeah, that's how we ended up with the project. So one of the things I'm trying to accomplish with this project is to, for people of color, I want to show them that their experiences are valid, that they're real, that they're not alone, and they're definitely not crazy. And for people without color, that's white people, I want them to know that sometimes their reactions to people, their interactions and their behavior can actually be quite harmful to people, whether or not they know it, whether or not it's their intention. It doesn't really matter. It's the impact that is important, and that their actions do have consequences and they have impact and they affect people. So that's the point of this project, is I want to bring light to this situation, this reality for people of color in Victoria, because I think a lot of white people don't really realize that there is racism here. So this is kind of a way for them to see that, and it makes it impossible for them to ignore it. They cannot look at all of these experiences from all these different people of color and think that it's still isolated incidents or that it's not about race. So I'm just hoping to maybe change the way that people think about their interactions with people of color, maybe just make it better for everybody. That's my goal.